welcome to Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken on Sutherland Avenue. This is Tennessee Prime alongside Jason Swain. I'm Austin Price. Both Cade Mays and Jimmy Calloway will be here shortly. They are exiting a leadership meeting on campus, and they're on their way as we speak. Jason, Tennessee coming off a 41-34 loss to Pittsburgh over on Saturday. I was on your show this morning, and you got to grill me, so now I get to grill you. So, overall thoughts from the game? You take positives away from – I mean, no fan wants to hear moral victory, but, you know, I thought there were some things Tennessee can take away and feel good about, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the improvement. That's one thing we can say. You can see the improvement with this football team. You can see that these guys are having fun. They never gave up, man. They fought tooth and nail to the end. And that's something that we did not see much of, you know, last year. But this team basically beat themselves, Austin. I mean, you had 3 turnovers, you had 13 penalties for 130-plus yards, and you still had a chance to tie it up. It was a bad spot by the referees on 3rd down and short, and then you fell by a couple of inches to pick up a 4th down in the red zone, and you go and score. Now it's tied. So I think if you are the coaches, you obviously you're not happy that you lost, but you look at the game film, you say, hey, man, we beat ourselves and still had a chance to tie this thing up. Our guys are playing hard. They're executing for the most part. Our play calling is working. We see guys open. We just have to execute it a little bit better and hit those passes in practice. And, you know, I think you do that, maybe the outcome is different when you are playing a Pittsburgh-like team here in a couple weeks in the SEC.
Schematically, Tennessee, I thought, you know, had a really good day. I mean, they, you know, the game that Heupel and Golish and the offensive staff called, I thought was really, really good. I mean, to score 34 points, to leave a lot of points on the field. I mean, Tennessee could have easily scored in the 50s. Yeah. I mean, that's how you ought to feel about that game. I mean, I know if and buts, and you got to score and take care of business, but you know, second game in this system for these kids, you know, again. They let one get away.
They did.
There's no doubt about that. And the quarterback play's got to be better, you know, going forward. But I think there are some positives that you can take out of this. Quarterback, you know, specifically, who you starting Saturday?
You wasn't lying, man. You wasn't lying when you said you was going to put me on the spot. What's today, Tuesday? It's crazy, Austin, because on Sunday, I felt like, all right, man, go with Hendon. Yesterday, I was like, go with Hendon. Look what he did. He came in, and you know, Tennessee was able to put up some points. But if you're going to win some games later on the season against SEC teams, you're going to need some big plays. You're going to need to hit those deep passes, and I think you're going to need number 7 to do it. And I just worry about after 2 games shelving him.
Where does he go mentally? I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
The best thing, you know, the best compliment you could ever give Jared Gantano was the fact that no matter how many times he got pulled or had his face mask pulled or whatever else,
that was great.
He never mailed it in. Like, I mean, you know, if he got put back in, he came right back.
Yeah.
Was it good enough on the field? No, but at the same time, he never kind of went there. And so I don't disagree with what you're saying. I mean, I've thought long and hard about it too, and you can make a case for, you know, giving Hendon the start. You can make a case for, you know, sticking by Joe and letting him play through it. Because Saturday is a game you should play through. Furman shut out Tennessee Tech.
Yeah.
No pressure, Cade Mays. Furman shut out Tennessee Tech. Of course, you don't play defense.
I don't play defense, so.
We could probably arrange it, though.
Yeah.
So Cade Mays joining us here, fresh out of the leadership meeting.
Fresh out, first day out.
I told you Saturday night we were going to talk your penalty, because I feel like you and I can have that conversation. So take me through this penalty, the personal foul, kind of sent Tennessee in reverse on that drive. What was going on? What were you thinking?
Hold on, Cade, before you answer that. Before you answer that, I just want to personally take responsibility because last week I hyped you up and I said, man, I love it, man. You know, rub them defensive players facing the ground and hit them hit them late and whatever. I love it. I love the intensity. I'm taking full responsibility. You tell Coach
Not your
Heupel
fault.
it's my fault.
Not your fault.
It's my fault,
It's
man.
on me. Nah, but, I mean, I didn't hear the whistle. So, I mean, I was just playing to the whistle. I didn't hear it. And it was like, when you go back and watch the film, like, as soon as I hit Buddy, he was blowing the whistle. So, I mean, they should have blown it a little quicker, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you are taught to play through the echo of the whistle. And if you don't hear it, then, I mean.
And you go back a year ago, I mean, Trey had a couple of those type penalties where you just keep playing and, maybe pile in there late.
To be honest with you, like when you're out there playing, you really, like if you're in the heat like of the battle, you don't really hear the whistle.
Especially if somebody's getting underneath your skin a little bit and you have a chance to take it out on them.
I mean, yeah, nobody really gets under my skin because, I mean, you just don't really get under my skin. It's just like, I mean, you're in that little fit of rage during the play and you don't hear the whistle. So it is what it is.
So we were talking quarterbacks when you walked up. I'm not going to ask you who you would start, but, how do you feel like, those guys responded Saturday? How do you feel like, I mean, anytime, you have to come out of the game and somebody else takes your spot, how did Joe handle it? How do you feel like Hendon responded throughout the course of the game? And what have you seen from those guys so far in practice this week?
Yeah, I mean, they're grown men, so they're able to handle things well and, in the face of adversity, they don't cower down. And, when Joe went down, it was Hendon's turn to step up, and, he did so. And Joe supported him on the sideline. I mean, you walk up and down the sideline, you see, Joe over there coaching Hendon up on stuff that he might have saw from the sideline. So, I mean, there's really no ever animosity in that or anything. They handle themselves well and, want each other to do well.
What do you think the difference between Joe in fall camp and Joe through the first two games is? I mean, we always see the overthrows, but where do you think that's coming from? Because obviously I don't think he did that in fall camp, right?
I mean, I don't think there's any difference. I think that, Joe has been playing, Joe's ball, I mean, I don't think there's really any difference, I mean, he knows the stuff that he's got to correct. I know the stuff that I've got to correct. I make mistakes. He makes mistakes. All 22 guys on the field make mistakes. So, I mean, it's something that, you got to correct. I mean, like a little stuff with O-line, like, I mean, your set might be bad for a game, you know what I mean? You got to correct that the next week. And so, I mean, Joe knows what he's got to correct, and when he gets healthy, and he's going to work on it.
Do you think it's important to let a kid play through it? I mean, being a player, you can, getting to play through maybe some of those mistakes and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the secondary a year ago. The Nicholas Slaughter starts the South Carolina game, gets beat a couple times, then he's not seen from again. The last staff had no, they just jerked him out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is important to, let someone who's making mistakes go in there, but you got to be able to correct your mistakes and stuff. And obviously, if you're not healthy enough to perform, then that's just what it is. I mean, you're not healthy enough to perform, but, I mean, yeah.
We heard all fall camp and preseason and, even up to this point that that the team's closer, that you guys are having fun. COVID really made you guys have to isolate and didn't have time to build those relationships. And, we heard all the stories and we heard the lip service, but I think the proof was kind of in the pudding, something that you just mentioned, Cade, and that is when, Joe went out and Hendon went in. Of course, Hendon was cheering Joe on the first game and a half when he was out there as a number 2 guy on the sideline. Well, you get pulled, you're not playing well, you get hurt and you're not playing well. You have a tendency to kind of sulk and not allow yourself to be mentally into the game. But Joe didn't do that, man. He was up there supporting his teammate, and you mentioned it, but everyone noticed it. I had a lot of people calling in this week and messaging in this week. They noticed that. They saw the sideline. They saw Joe giving Hendon that positive reinforcement, hyping him up. And so you can see the difference for sure on the sideline.
I mean, we all just want to make money together, I mean, everybody, we're all friends. Everybody wants to, like, if you're in there, I would want somebody to support me, and if someone else is in there, I would want to support them because, I mean, you get what you give. So, I mean, you support people, you're good to people, when they're out there on the field, and, I mean, you're going to get that in return. Sure.
This week you played Tennessee Tech. You guys should roll in that game. When you go into a game like this, how important is it, more than anything, to just get out of it as healthy as you were going in?
Yeah, I mean, it's important, but at the same time, a game like this is very important to go in and work on your own skill set, work on our flow as an offense, and just, take a step, not take a step back, just take a step forward, working on personal stuff, working on offensive stuff, just coming closer as a team, playing better as a team, playing clean, and you know that's what's important about a week like this is just upping your game.
How quick do you flush it, whether you lose or you win? And listen, this is not your first rodeo. Playing at a high level, playing in a game that's national televised. You know, you were at UGA, playing some big games there. You've been here playing some big games. Won some, lost some, but regardless of the outcome, you got to really forget about it, right, and get ready for the next week. How do you handle that? What's your process?
The way I look at it, there's always the next week. You know, I mean, you can't go back and change something that happened. Can't go back and change the past. So, just looking forward to that next week, looking at that opponent, and just really just trying not to let it happen again. Just knowing the mistakes you made and correcting those the next week.
So like Saturday night, is it like Saturday night, 11:59? You're like, yeah, feeling good about my performance, and then as soon as midnight hit, kind of like what Cinderella, you're like, I gotta flush it and think about the next
for sure. I mean, no matter how good or bad you played, I mean, you've still got to go out and perform next week. So, I mean, the last week doesn't really mean anything because you got another one coming up.
For this team, how good would it be to go out and kind of have that 70-3 cleanse game and just, you know, I mean, no offense to the kids in Cookeville, but just kind of just have a game where you guys kind of feel good about yourselves? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, definitely, you know, I mean, confidence levels are still the same. I mean, we know what we can do. We know what we can be. I mean, we just got to go out and perform, and you know, we beat ourselves. And so you go out there and you play a clean game, you play hard and stuff, you know, everything takes care of itself, and you don't make the mistakes that we made last week. So
as a player on the team, you know, you're an offense and the defense is out there. Or, I mean, hey, you playing offense and you see other guys make plays. Who are some guys that you were impressed with in their performance against Pittsburgh?
On defense?
You know, regardless of defense, offenses as a team, who are some guys that kind of stood out to you?
I thought Jacob Warren had a really good game. I was really impressed with him. He's had a really good 2 games. You know, he's been playing his butt off this year, and then, you know, Jimmy Calloway coming back this week had that big run down the sideline. I was you know, blocking my guy, and I saw him catch it, and like the window looked like it was so small. Mm-hmm. He just flew through it, and I was like, man, he is cooking down the sideline. But Jacob, Jimmy, you know, there's a lot of guys that played good this week. On the defensive side of the ball, I don't really know because, you know, when you come off the sideline, you're over there scheming up what the defense has been doing against you, and so you hear it's third down, you're like, all right, it's about time to go. So I can't really say anything for the defense, but I mean, I think a lot of guys played well.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the game this weekend. We'll talk about maybe some lineup changes, and then we'll kind of continue to get to know Cade Mays as the person, not just the player off the field. He's Jason Swain. For Cade Mays, I'm Austin Price. You're watching Tennessee Prime.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's. VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
VolQuest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why VolQuest continues to set that standard.
Ever wonder what the best source of Tennessee and college football talk is? Tune in to the Swain Event every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. You can listen on the Swain Event app or catch the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. If you can't listen in real time, it's all good. Just click on the podcast icon in the app and listen at your convenience. Get all the information on the Vols all year long with the Swain Event. You will not find a better mix of Big Orange news and opinion anywhere else.
Welcome back to Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken off Sutherland Avenue. Alongside Jason Swain and Cade Mays, I'm Austin Price. We're watching Tennessee Prime. Cade, guard play. You look at the holding penalties through the first couple of weeks. Most of them have come from the interior. How important is it to see those guys kind of up their game and potentially see someone like yourself slide inside, and maybe a guy like Jeremiah Crawford rise his game to see if he can help this team?
I mean, I think holding penalties, they're a given. They're going to happen. You know, I mean, you're in there scratching and clawing, trying to make a block. You might take a bad step, get in bad position, and then, you know, next thing you know, you're holding a guy outside your frame, and, you know, ref sees and throws a flag. So, I mean, holding calls are a given. I will say the refs were kind of picky on Saturday, but, I mean, those guys, they work hard. They're getting better every day.
What did you think of Kingston Harris Saturday?
I was happy with how Kingston played. Came in there. He's been flipping sides and stuff, and I know personally how hard that is. It's really hard to, you know, go from the right side to the left side, and he did a really good job knowing his assignments, you know, from right side to the left side and just going in there and just competing hard.
Why is it hard? Why is it hard to flip from left to right, right to left?
So somebody on Twitter actually said, whichever dominant hand you wipe your butt with, switch it. Try that. Kind of the same thing. It's just hard because, like, I mean, you've got your feet staggered one way, and then you stagger them the other way, and everything just feels awkward. You've got to use your hands a different way. It's just awkward.
I maintain that. Well, one, Darnell's in way better shape, but I maintain that the move from right to left for Darnell was real beneficial for him because that's all he ever played until he got to Tennessee, and all of a sudden he was doing something he was unfamiliar with, and now he's back to, it's like riding a bike over on the left side.
I will say whatever you play in high school really has no, like, effect on, like, if you play a position in high school and then get to college and play a different one, you're not being coached so technically in high school to where it really matters. And then, like, when you get to college and you're pounding this technique, trying to get these motions fluid and doing everything, and then you switch sides and then try to do the same thing on another side, it's really hard. Like, it's hard.
So, having played basically you have played at every position on the offensive line.
And fullback and tight end.
Is there a favorite?
I like center.
You do?
Yeah.
So if you went to the NFL, that'd be something you'd be all about?
Yeah, I could definitely see myself playing center in the NFL.
Jeff Saturday?
I think I'm a little bit bigger than him.
You are, I understand. I'm joking.
Coop's a big Jeff Saturday guy.
I'm sure Coop is a big Jeff Saturday guy.
Yeah, but I like center. I don't know. I feel like I'm good at center. I understand, like, the game, like making the calls and stuff, and I like, you know, being in control of getting everybody on the same page and communicating that to everybody. And then I don't know. There's just something about center. I don't mind snapping the ball. I like using my offhand and stuff.
What lineman do you try to pattern your game after, or linemen?
I can't really say, like, one lineman because I watch so many. Like, I watch almost all the right tackles that are in the NFL.
Who's an old school guy that you loved to watch when you were growing up? Did you watch anything like that?
Like I said, look, we talked about this last week. I watched a lot of Taylor Lewan, like when he first got in the league, when he was making all those Pro Bowls and stuff.
Not last week when he got beat for 5 sacks.
He owned it, though. He owned it.
He did own it. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have a choice when everyone
For
saw
sure.
it.
Well, remember that, Cade. If you give up a sack or something and you don't want to come out and do
That's
the
okay.
show.
That's fine. But Taylor Lewan, I've been studying a lot of Brian Bulaga lately just because he's been so good for so long in the league, and he just does stuff. You know, he does, like, he's got his own, like, little techniques and stuff, and he's really good with his hands, got a really good set and stuff. Taylor Moton, too, from Carolina Panthers. Watch a lot of him.
What's the key to longevity? Do you think you have a kind of a feel for that?
God, honestly, just if he blesses you to play this game long enough, I mean, the credit to him because, I mean, it's a violent game. Injuries happen, and just, you know, if he wants you to play the game for a long time, then you're going to do it. And so, because, I mean, there's some people, you know, get in the league, get hurt during training camp. I mean, that's just, I mean, it sucks, but that's the way the game goes. It's violent, you know, it's physical, and injuries just happen.
Did you watch Trey's game Sunday?
I was actually hunting, but I tuned in for a couple plays. But I went back and watched all the highlights and stuff. I talked to Trey right after the game. So,
his story is so awesome just because all that he went through to even just be able to play in college and then it hurts him in the draft, and
For
then
sure.
all of a sudden he's, the starter after they have an injury.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely one of the most special stories. Just honestly, from high school all the way to the NFL, his story is just so incredible, and the way that he carries himself as a person, just I can't say enough about him. He's one of my best friends, and we talk on the daily, and just the way he carries himself, he's got such a great personality, and just the stuff that he's had to go through, the adversity in his life, and to still just walk the way he does and talk the way he does, it's really special.
What's cool about it is, he could have went anywhere in the country. You as well, man. But it came down to Tennessee, Ohio State, Alabama for him. He picks Tennessee. He plays lights out as a freshman, and then the health reasons he had to sit down. Didn't win as much as I'm sure he wanted to win, and then he slides in the draft because of the health concerns. And then the one place that needs him the most is the best organization right now in the NFL.
No doubt.
The one place that you saw in the Super Bowl get exposed. It's really the reason why I lost the Super Bowl is because Tampa Bay applied so much pressure to Patrick Mahomes and he couldn't throw it. He was running for his life.
Yeah.
So the one place that needed him is the best situation for him, playing for a Hall of Fame coach, Andy Reid, protecting Patrick Mahomes.
Future Hall of Fame quarterback, crazy.
The most potent offense ever. I mean,
Yep.
they were down, by multiple scores to Cleveland, and they had no juice, and all of a sudden, snap of a finger, they score two touchdowns, and boom, they win. They just
For
winners, and I'm just happy that Trey is associated with that and tied to that because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he deserves it. I'm happy for him.
Happy for him. I do want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of former Vol Paris Harrelson. Paris passing away yesterday. Jason, you played with him. Cade, you were growing up around the time he was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of memories do you have of him?
I mean, I don't I remember the name. I remember him being a phenomenal player, but I was too young to, be really locked into Tennessee football and stuff. I mean, I was probably 8-10 years old probably, but I mean, I just remember hearing the name. I mean, he's been a phenomenal player. Definitely a very good name in our program and
Were
stuff.
you born 99?
99.
Yeah, he was about 5 or 6.
Yeah. I knew I was definitely young, but I've heard the name.
Paris, if you can create the perfect student athlete and the perfect player inside your program, Paris will be who you would create. He took care of business in the classroom. You never saw him, frown. He's always smiling, always had energy, lit every room up that he walked into. Was a two-time captain. He was a 6-foot defensive end coming in from Mississippi, and so you normally don't see 6-foot defensive ends.
For sure.
But he left here, this program, 5th all-time in sacks, and he played his best ball against Alabama and the Georgias of the world. I remember in 2004, Turpin McBride broke through the line of scrimmage on a run to Kenneth Darby and created a fumble, caused a fumble. Paris Harrelson scooped it up and scored, and that just changed the momentum in that football game. We were able to go and beat Alabama there in 2004, but Paris is one of the best human beings I've ever been around. I learned so much from him on how to treat people, how to carry yourself as a professional, even though we weren't pros, just how to be a student athlete and take care of your business on the field. So I got the news yesterday. I was devastated, but it's cool to see everyone highlight what a guy Paris Harrelson was, and hopefully we can all model what type of guy he was.
Well, and I'm going to share a story that's from the general's quarters from Hack. It says, in 2005, my 6-year-old son was trying to get autographs after the game. Paris saw him struggling to get them. He went to pick him up and said, "Come on, little man, we'll get some autographs on that football." He carried him around until that football was covered in signatures. He gave me and my son a memory of a lifetime. And that just goes to show what you did and what you can do, during, the Vol walk with a smile or a fist pump or, after a game signing an autograph can leave a lasting impact many, many, many years later.
Yeah. Paris, special. So I know Tennessee is gonna do something to honor him this weekend, and we see from time to time players that play here and people that worked here. This program, to mean so much to this program, they pass away. We see older folks pass away, and we say, man, they lived a great life. They live a full life. But whenever you see someone that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, you know they just have so much left. In Paris' case, 37, just way too early, way too soon. But I tell you what, it makes you realize that pick up the phone and call people that matter to you. Tell them you love them. Tell them how much they mean to you, because you just never know what might happen. So, live every day like it's your last.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And again, he was a great classmate of mine. We had a couple classes together. He's a year younger than me.
You was copying his paper?
No.
Don't lie. He was copying off Paris' paper. Don't lie, AP.
No.
Looking over his shoulder.
Maybe. Maybe. Flip the script away from that to back to just kind of getting to know Cade. What's your major?
Communication studies.
All right, let's forget that. Let's talk about in high school or elementary school. What was your favorite subject?
Subject?
Yeah, was it history?
Lunch and PE.
Lunch. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. I don't know. I went
Was there a particular subject that came easier to you?
I like history. History was cool. I wasn't ever big on English or math really. Math was decent, but I liked history. I like learning about the country and stuff that's happened before me. Why stuff looks like it is now. Hey there, big guy.
I know that guy.
That's right, because Jimmy Calloway was unable to make it, so we've added the other Mays brother in here. Big Coop. But,
I'm telling on you, Cade. I'm telling on you, man. You over here talking about how you want to play center, and we already have a center. That's right. You see how Cooper's looking over here? He's like, what?
Tell him, Coop.
Oh man.
Probably better than me at center, honestly.
Yeah, we'll turn.
He said you're a
Cooper
Jeff
up.
Saturday guy.
Yeah, I would say so. That's very
Him and Kelsey.
Is that?
Yeah, I would say Kelsey.
Is that because
Corey Linsley, too?
Is that because you have a thick beard and he has more of a Jeff Saturday thin beard?
You got a beard?
No, I can't grow one. Actually, I could, but I got a white
Patch
spot right
Adams.
here. You just
I
don't
think
want
you
that.
could. It's okay. We'll all get there someday.
So, you're obviously not playing right now. How much are you itching to get back, though?
Man, I'm
Because, you wait all off season and first game.
You said what? Oh, yeah. It was definitely disappointing. At this point, I'm just itching all day to get back.
Thank you
just
so much.
scratching myself. Got to put on topical ointment, like cream. But yeah, no, I'm definitely I'm ready to get back. It's really just kind of hurts your spirit when you see people out there fighting.
Sure.
The O-line and everything out there fighting. I just want to be a part of that. It's really what I want to be a part of.
When you went back and watched the film before you got hurt, what did you like about how you were doing in that game?
I think the biggest thing I was doing, I was playing with the right tempo. I think our coaches preach our tempo. Obviously, it's what they're known for. So I think I was doing a really good job with that, getting everybody up on the ball, getting people set, making my call, and getting rolling.
What's your regimen now that you're trying to come back from injury? Long nights in the training room, trying to shorten that recovery time.
No doubt.
Take us through kind of what your daily regimen is just in the training room.
Really, I think, it just kind of depends on the day, what we're doing at practice and everything. But, it just boils down to anytime I'm free, whether that's after class, in the morning, at night, before meetings, just anytime I can get in the training room, I'm in there getting ice, heat and stim, everything, just anything to help it get better.
How much has he grown? You go back to high school. Cooper, when he was a sophomore, I took a picture of him, and
Yeah.
he's never let me live it down, although I've kept it this entire time.
That was freshman year.
I know. But when you look back at just how small he was back then, and your dad called it. He said Cooper's going to be this, and he goes, he's just like me. I was this age, boom, and then took off. And then all of a sudden you saw him take off and really start putting on pounds and become a different player.
For sure.
And he already had that, I call it the Mays mentality.
Yeah.
He already had that, but as far as size, he didn't right away.
For sure. My junior year, it was his freshman year. He was playing guard at 220 pounds right beside me. And then, his sophomore year, my senior year, 240, playing 240 next to me. He gets his junior year, he's about 260, and then gets to his senior year about
Ain't even that.
Yeah, I mean 245. Like
Not
he
even
played
that.
3 years at below 250 pounds of high school, and then his senior year, he jumped up there at 275, 280.
Yeah, people don't even know this really, but my junior year, like the last game of my junior year, I weighed in with my pads on like 246 with my whole pads, every outfit, everything.
I mean, at this point you've got SEC offers.
Yeah.
Offers from everybody around the country. And I mean, you're playing football at really about 5 after you take your pads off and stuff.
No doubt.
But like the off seasons, that where he took that big jump and put on 30 pounds, 35 pounds.
From the last game of my senior year, which was the 4th round of the playoffs, so probably around December, somewhere around there. So like December to spring, I jumped from 240, probably about 240 flat, probably to 270, just to the spring, and then from the spring to the summer, I jumped up to about 294.
That was that Central game where you dominated defensively.
Yeah, I dominated. It wasn't even fair.
I actually think you could play defensive tackle here.
I know, that's why.
Definitely could.
Talk about it all the time. I talk about it all the time.
What did you do to anything different to gain that weight, or just was like, all right, it's time to gain weight, man. Here's Mother Nature.
I just wasn't really taking I kind of knew it was like go time. I knew for a fact like if I didn't gain weight, I was gonna lose my offers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I gotta gain weight. So I was doing anything. So I basically, I'll give you the routine. So I'd wake up right in the morning. On the ride to school, I'd be drinking a protein shake that's about that big. I'd drink that on the way there, get to school, work out, about to throw up on myself because I was so full from the protein shake. But I wouldn't because, I don't do that. I'm trying to get all the gains. Go to first period, do that. Second period, which is probably about like 8:50, somewhere around in there. I'd have a big old breakfast. I have about 4 hash browns, like big like Arby styles, like the potato cakes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
About 4 of those. Wrap them up in bacon. Throw maybe a couple cookies or a sausage biscuit in there. Go up to lunch. About 2 plates. Be done with lunch. Get done with the day of school. Go to Subway. Get a 6-inch with some chips. Throw the chips on the sandwich. Yeah. Then you work out. I worked out. Then
go to the Handy Burger.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Man.
Creatine, I could go on. And then at nighttime, about 2 peanut butter and jellies, protein shake right before bed. Give me big old heartburn, a couple 5 pounds probably. It was worth it though.
Oh yeah, he was definitely eating like crazy.
It was unreal.
And working out like crazy. Like the dedication he put in from like that little period of time, just like on his routine, like knew what he had to do to get there, and he did it.
The good news for Coop is when his playing days are over, he'll slim back down to 210 pounds.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whereas Cade and Camp have different genetics, and they're naturally going to be big forever.
Don't make no sense to me, but I'm thankful.
It's good for when you're done.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be a bodybuilder when I'm done. Watch, I'm gonna have abs for the first time in my life. I promise.
Spandex, all spandex.
That's
like
right.
Professor.
That's right. I'm wearing straight tight clothes. Mediums only.
I was trying to talk about like something different, like favorite subject in school, and Biggin over here said PE and lunch. You're the brainiac of the family, so what was it for you?
Favorite subjects?
Yeah, at any point. Like mine was Tennessee history in 7th grade.
I really enjoyed. I had U.S. history honors my junior year
with Hamlin,
Mr. Hamlin.
Yeah, that's what I liked.
Very interesting guy. Definitely was had the best intentions.
Loved his job.
Loved his job, and some people didn't like that because he was following all the rules and he would write you up if you didn't follow all the rules, like that guy. But
of course,
I would. I kind of looked at it and I was like, this guy, he definitely cares. So that kind of hit home to me. He was a good teacher too, so I like that. And then I don't really know anything else. I enjoy anything I do, really.
So you both like history. What about history though?
I've got a photographic memory, so I can memorize dates, and I'm really just interested in it. So it just makes it easier.
See, I could watch JFK assassination documentaries all the time.
Oh yeah, that's good, isn't it? Documentary or the actual video?
Yeah, the actual video, sure. But yeah, you can't watch a documentary without watching the actual video in it. But just learning more about it and all that stuff.
I'm saying the original video?
Yes, the Zapruder film.
Wow. So without the what do they call that? The censorship or whatever? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty weird ordeal.
I'm just sitting back, I'm getting a kick out of this, man. The brotherly love here, man.
Isn't it crazy?
How many fights?
Who would have thought?
I'm really just like, I'm just the guy that, just comes in and saves the day sometimes, I feel like.
Hey, man.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, and hey, you'll have to do it here in a couple days when that ankle gets healed and you're ready to go, man. Come in and save the day.
I do what I do. I'm prepared.
The best part is we have someone watching from Washington, D.C. that would be one that protects one of those important 45 people, 46 people now. So
You lost me, big dog. What are you talking about?
Secret Service.
there you go.
Oh.
He
Secret
says we're on the
Service.
radar.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I bet we are.
It's Cooper. It's all Cooper, man.
My bad. I need to chill out with the JFK stuff. I thought that ship had sailed.
I'm turning my mic off. Go give me some chicken.
Go ahead, Jason. Change the subject.
I'm gonna go.
You want to toss the break, then we'll come back and talk more Tennessee Tech?
Yeah, let's talk football. And let's go to break and come back and chop it up with these guys, man. Get the Mays brother. Where's my shirt? Where's the Mays brother shirt? You're supposed to be bringing me one like 2 weeks ago.
I know, my bad.
That is
Yeah, I
true.
gotta-
I can tell you where to find one, though.
Time's been busy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, little Kingston Pike DW Designs.
Yeah, I'm about to go by there,
DW.
man. I drove past there today and I was like,
Hey, before we go to break,
Super Mays Bros.
Matthew Butler talks to the media today. Before he started, he goes, the guy that asks the best question gets a free smoothie from Smoothie King. And hands Jimmy Hines a Smoothie King coupon.
oh, man. Sorry, Jimmy. They don't have gumbo flavor.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll be right back on Tennessee Prime.
It's a reroll.
Locally owned, Gus's is located on Sutherland Avenue and has been voted the best fried chicken in every city they've ever gone to. Throw in some delicious and mouth-watering sides, and it's easy to see why Gus's is a must-have at your dinner table. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
Ever wonder what the best source of Tennessee and college football talk is? Tune in to the Swain Event every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. You can listen on the Swain Event app or catch the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. If you can't listen in real time, it's all good. Just click on the podcast icon in the app and listen at your convenience. Get all the information on the Vols all year long with the Swain Event. You will not find a better mix of Big Orange news and opinion anywhere else.
VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
VolQuest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why VolQuest continues to set that standard.
Tennessee Prime. Hey, question.
Welcome back to Tennessee Prime. It is the Mays brothers and Austin Price, Jason Swain. Welcome back.
There you go, man. That was good right there.
We're live.
You're going to be hosting this thing by the end of the year.
That was good. That's good.
Thanks, man.
No, we're gonna make it.
Communication majors, it's natural.
Yeah, we're gonna help you get better, man.
How many hours you taking?
12,
12?
37.
15. I wanted a maxed out schedule. Student athlete.
When do you graduate?
December.
It just means more.
Yep, it does.
Yep.
When do you graduate?
Yep.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Not really worried about it.
Jacob
As of
Warren
right now.
has already graduated, is playing football this season, and technically has 2 more years after this year if he wants to play.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, he's got like 44 degrees.
Yeah, like BK.
Yeah, dang near.
How many's
The
Matthew
doctor.
Butler going to have?
Huh?
Matthew Butler's been here forever, too.
Yeah,
Matt, what is
Matt
he?
has been here forever.
Was he like 32?
26.
27?
No, he's not. He's 24. I do love that Caleb Tremblay's 25 and can rent a car, though.
That's amazing right there.
He what?
He can
He's
rent a
25.
car.
He can rent a
25
car.
years
He's
old.
25 years old. He's born in 1996. And that was only 2 years after your dad quit playing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. impressive, man.
That's old. I do got a question for Cooper though. I remember last year when you had to like switch shoulder pads and jerseys on the sideline, and I was like, who is that, man? He don't even have a name on the back of his jersey.
Him and Locklear.
I'm selfless. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need the name on my jersey. That's the way I look at it.
How many times did you do it in the course of a game? How was it? It looks like it's pretty annoying, to be honest.
Are you talking about like the physical act of changing, or like
yeah,
wearing that jersey?
like how many times you have to change in the course of a football game? Because
I would only I honestly I didn't play very much center last year until the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So like most of our the big packages that I was in, I think the only time I had to take the actual jersey off was I think Bama week, and they sent me out there. It was pretty short notice, and it was a hassle to get it off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad it had to.
Yeah, I used to have to wear the big jersey my freshman year when I was at UGA. We did like because it was Cheney. Like Cheney always likes having like an extra lineman on the line. So, you put your regular jersey on. So I had like my 77 with my name on the back, and then they give you like a 6X like jersey with like a tight end number, and then you slide it over it.
When was this?
It made you look
When I was
stupid.
UGA.
You went to UGA?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember that. So your jersey on the shoulder pads, they were like glued on your pads, right?
Yeah, like you would have your tight jersey on, like your gaming jersey, and then they'd put like a 6X on so they could slide it on and off.
Gotcha.
It's pretty terrible. It makes you look like you have it looks like you have no business being on the field when you got that big old jersey on.
I mean, when I saw you play, I was like, who is this guy with no name on the back of his jersey? I had to text Austin. I was like, Austin, who is this guy? Is this guy just run on the field from the stands? Oh, that's Cooper. I was like, oh, okay, it's Cooper.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just a twitchy number 93. That's all it was. Playing tight end.
I think, you maybe break that out for senior day in a few years.
What, the jersey?
93.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. Is that eligible?
Hey, if you switch to defensive line, you could wear number 93.
That's right. I mean, hey.
We're 93 is tight end. Tight end with 93, catching passes.
Speaking of tight ends, did you guys see the big tight end who's like 311 pounds for the who does he play for?
Auburn?
You lost me.
in the NFL.
That was last year.
I was watching the game.
We don't play Auburn. I can talk trash.
I don't know who it was. He caught like 6 passes, though. He's 315 pounds.
What?
I don't remember what team
This was
it
like Sunday?
Yeah.
You were hunting. How do you know that?
No, I was hunting like the afternoon. The games that came on at 1.
It looked
I
like
got
you
to
had
watch
pretty good
them.
success.
I did.
With the Doves.
Still didn't get no phone call, man. I told you I want to hunt. What were you hunting? Doves, you said?
Doves, yep.
Were you successful?
I was. Killed my limit.
What is the
It
limit?
was fun. 15.
Educate me. 15. Harder to kill, ducks or doves?
Ducks, like the process of killing ducks is harder than doves, but doves are probably harder to shoot.
Smaller.
And plus I was shooting for all my hunters out there, I had a full choke in my gun and didn't realize it from turkey season. And, doves are yay big. You can hold them in your hand. So, a full choke basically makes your shotgun pattern a lot tighter. So you want to have your pellets going a lot, like a bigger area.
Sure.
And mine were tighter. So it made it kind of hard. Blew a couple of them in half, but.
You learn something new every day, man.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about that.
You knew that? Yeah, you did.
Nope.
Yes, you did. Don't lie.
Not lying, man.
Do you guys have like friendly wagers in the game? Like, all right, who's gonna have the most pancakes? Who's gonna have the most knockdowns?
Nah.
Y'all haven't done that yet?
No.
No, we're really just like.
We're really just anxious folks. So we don't really talk about wagers and all that. We're just.
And we like support each other throughout the game. Like, see him make a big block, go over to him, tell him he's balling, a little tap on the back. Does the same thing to me.
Is the dream scenario for an offensive lineman to be in a game that's not in doubt and to have one of your teammates fumble about the one and you fall on it in the end zone for a touchdown?
No. I would rather like a. I would rather like a
real dog
like
fight.
a game that has like no like. If we're talking like in essence of scoring, like a tight game, somehow ball ends up on the ground, you pick it up, game-winning touchdown.
Somehow.
TV time.
Or like let's say the defense gets the ball and then you go and take the ball away from the defender and then you go score that way.
Yeah,
that's possible.
They're usually a lot more athletic than us, though.
I had an interception in high school. That was pretty nice.
We were talking about my first time on the show. I was telling them about my interception. You remember that?
When you played a pilot?
Yeah.
They're over there right now getting it on. I'm talking about
John Tarleton?
Cars flooding out of John Tarleton. XFL, baby. I'm telling you. I might have to go check it out.
Those were the days. John
Yeah, they
Tarleton
were.
was the days.
We were out there balling.
You guys ever go to intramural games on campus?
Stop.
What?
No, I've never been to an intramural game.
I hear Johnny
gotta be
Manziel's out there playing
You gotta be a real
intramurals.
You gotta be a real student athlete, man. Soak up being a Tennessee student, man,
sure.
and athlete. Go hang out with the students.
I
too.
mean, hey, I'm sure some of them are out there just getting after it.
And take it serious.
You know, those good high school players, you know, just they were the tweeners, you know, couldn't really like get over the hump, but you know, I bet they're out there getting it on.
I bet they're playing hard.
Gritty.
I bet they're attacking.
Forcing balls into quadruple and coverage.
So what?
Forcing balls into quadruple
Intramural
coverage.
Hall of Fame. Were
Hey,
you an
man.
intramural footballer?
Was I?
Yeah.
I wasn't. You too, yeah.
Hall of Famer?
I don't know what
All-pro?
Hall of Famer, but I was a player. I think it's it's intramural basketball. I think anything you can do when you're in college is fun.
For sure.
I mean,
I
you're
think
going to look back and you'll be my age or Jason's age, which is basically the same. And
You older.
I am older, but I mean, like it goes by really quick, especially when you get kids. That's
it
like your
definitely
marker
does.
on life. Your first marker on life was
We had
camp.
this conversation the other day.
Your first marker on life was camp.
It definitely was.
So, Cade, the best story. When Cade's in, like, what were you?
I was 16.
sophomore.
I was 16.
Junior.
So yeah, I would have been a sophomore when Camp was born.
And he tweets something. I'm like, you okay? I text him, like, you okay? He goes, yeah, somebody I know is having a baby. I was like, oh, really? And he goes, it's my mom.
You were real weird with your Twitter back in the day. That was back before
And I was
people
like,
really knew
oh.
how to use Twitter.
And who knew Camp would just be a boss?
Stud.
A beast.
What's he weigh?
the beast?
About 107.
Yeah.
And how tall is he?
About
4'7", 4'6".
He's up to about like.
And
if
he's
I'm
just a
standing
first
up,
grader,
he's
technically.
above
He's really a kindergartner,
Yeah, he's a kindergartner.
but he's really a first grader.
So
Kindergartner.
when is he committing to Tennessee?
He's already got offers from Alabama and Ohio State.
Yeah,
From
we're
the
a
womb.
little bit slow. You know, on the recruiting process.
We got to get them offers in, man. We got to get that
Yeah.
commitment. Austin, you got to do the recruitment video.
Listen, buddy, I'm 2 for 2 on Mazes.
Rocky Top.
Even though this one defected, I got him back.
1.5
So
attitude.
we can, it's more than you're more than a half.
We got to get Camp locked and loaded, man.
I told him
He doesn't even like sports.
You should make him a
I asked
video,
him the other day.
Austin.
He came to the game. You know how the game? It was like a 4-hour game. Like it was. We were out. It was a long game.
It was.
And so he came to the game, and you know the sun was beaming. Everybody was sunburnt. Camp, like for half of the game, was laying like under the seats, like trying to get some shade. And then after the game, he was just absolutely just. Oh, he was exhausted.
You know how he knows me? He doesn't know me through the boys. He knows me because my girls went to Miss Mildred Queen in Farragut for swim lessons.
Okay.
And so
Michael
they
Phelps.
have a pool at their house in Kingston, and they needed him to learn how to swim. So I got him set up with Miss Mildred. So he knows me because of Miss Mildred, not because of recruiting or the boys.
Hey, she did a great job because he was like 2.5 years old, 3 years old, out there swimming as good as I can.
Like a fish.
How old
It's
is he now?
crazy. He's 6 now.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
He can swim like a fish.
And doesn't care about sports right now.
He doesn't care about sports. So I asked him, like, part of the story that I was telling, like, after the game, we went to eat. He's exhausted. He's, like, laying on the floor. And I'm like, Camp, how are you going to play football? You're so tired from just watching. And he was like, I don't want to play football. I just want to play Fortnite.
Well, also what he says is he says it's too far away from our mom. The field, being on the field is too far away from our mom.
I love it.
Melinda got him close.
I love it.
No
He's
doubt.
gonna be spoiled.
He already is.
Oh, yeah, true.
Not
Gets
gonna
away with murder.
He does. He does.
All right.
He runs the show.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
The good news is once you're in the league, you can start paying for stuff from him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take care of that, man.
All them Fortnite seasons,
The Robux cards.
Robux cards, everything.
Yep. Hot Wheels.
We will save for my next appearance, which Brent will be back next week and I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We will save for that show when I will tell the late night phone call story from Cade Mays from high school. That one is too good. All right, let's focus back on Tennessee Tech. You go into this game Saturday, and I know you go in expecting to play every series, but that's not going to be realistic because you guys are going to be up. So, one of those things where you want to take care of business as quickly as you can, get out of there.
I mean, just the opportunities that I have where I am on the field, just making the most of them, working on stuff that I did wrong last week or correcting my mistakes, playing technical, stuff like that. Just, as long as I'm in there, just playing as hard as I can, playing the best I can.
You told me, before we go to you, you told me last week or after the game that you felt like Saturday was one of your best games in college. Why was that?
I just, this season's been really the first time that I've played tackle. And, Pitt's usually known for their defense. They've got a really good defensive coordinator. Last year they led the nation in tackles for loss, and they've just usually got a really good D-line. And something we stressed all week was, third and long pass rush. And something I said we need to stay out of was third and long. We ended up finding ourselves in third and long quite a bit. I felt like I protected pretty well, did some good things with my hands and changing up my sets and stuff, just, keeping those guys off balance and just, utilizing my tools.
Did you guys get a chance to see what happened down in Tallahassee this past weekend? Where
I saw highlights of it.
Yeah. So, Coach always tries to talk up the opponent, and it's easy to talk up Pittsburgh. It's easy to talk up, most of the top SEC schools. But when you play a team like Tennessee Tech, if you play your best and they play their best, it should be over at halftime, let's be honest. But as a coach, he's not supposed to tell you that your guys are just that much better than the opponent. How do you guys make sure that Pitt, even though, again, you guys outplayed them and beat yourselves, how do you make sure that Pitt doesn't beat you twice?
Sure.
Like what happened with Notre Dame and Florida State. Notre Dame beat Florida State twice. They went out there and lost to Jacksonville State.
Yeah. Just watching the film this week, correcting the things that we made mistakes on, correcting our errors, and just, going out there and playing with the same great effort and, connecting on big plays, making big holes for the running back, and just, playing hard. And when you play hard, usually everything shakes out. And just really correcting the mistakes that we made, and everything should take care of itself.
It's like there's a standard that you want to play at, right? And the opponent is just opponent X.
For sure.
And, and we understand like the Bamas and the Floridas and the Georgias and, the Pittsburgh, like it's going to have a little more oomph to it because there's going to be more people in the stands and, the competition is better on the other side of the line of scrimmage. But it's really about you guys, right? It's really
Absolutely.
about, playing at a certain
Every
standard and certain level and not letting that drop.
Yeah.
Coop?
Coop chilling.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to put Coop under the gun. Say, are you playing Saturday? But when you get back out there, what's the one thing you look forward to most?
I mean, it kind of really just goes back to what I was really talking about earlier. Like it was just kind of really like this, it's kind of like hurt me not to be. It just really hurts not to be out there like fighting with my guys. I love that part.
You talked about the tempo earlier. Mm-hmm. How do you, especially as the center, how do you take a couple of weeks off and not lose that tempo and be able to continue to go at the speed Coach Heupel's wanting to go at?
Really, it's just sticking to the rules that they taught us how to play with the right tempo. I mean, it's just making sure you get your eyes to the judge, working up the hash, make sure you get your feet set, let everybody else get set around you. Just really the big thing is just bringing people along with me, because I know where I'm supposed to be at every play when the play's over. Just making sure everybody else is locked in. Everybody gets tired and loses focus. So I mean, for me, I've got to be the one to keep everybody on track, get everybody going.
When you see a defensive player pretend like they're hurt and fall down, you ever want to just go to them and say, "Get up, you ain't hurt"?
Yeah, I mean, I want to and I do. I usually talk to them when they do. I mean, that's a really cowardly way to face us, in my opinion. But who am I to judge? I probably would lay down and act like I was hurt too. If I was very tired like that. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a cowardly way to fight it.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think there should be some rule, because I mean it's very obvious. You're flagrantly going down, faking an injury. Like I think there should be a rule, because it changes the whole pace of the game, the whole tempo of the game, and it's a timeout without calling a timeout.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
is that like when Tyler fell over at Auburn last year?
I mean, I don't remember that. Maybe.
I don't remember that
one
either.
too many. One too many. I mean, it is very useful when you might have too many people on the field. I mean, defense might have 12 people out there, and then they're like, just fall down. Oh God, my leg. But I mean, I think there should definitely, there should definitely be a rule in place to where, if there's not an actual injury and if you're standing up at the line of scrimmage and then you just fall down. There should be some type of penalty.
Maybe a review or something at least.
If the play ends and you run over to where you're supposed to line up, and then you look around and somebody's over there on the sideline yelling, "Get down!" There should be like either a burn of a timeout, maybe a automatic first down. I don't know. I'm not the rule maker, but I'm just saying, like,
Next week on Tennessee Prime, we'll go in depth on the rule book with
Let's
Cade
do it.
Mays.
You take a
obviously
camera and then you
great-
zoom
10
into
to
the
2.
player's
You cannot
face
cut anyone who's not 10 to 2. I do know that. 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, 5 yards behind. Nothing out of the tackle box. 10 and 2.
I like it.
I can't stand when I see players fake injuries. I mean, listen, I understand if you're getting gashed and you can't stop the offense. I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do. But, like, I can't stand it, man, because it's just you're not hurt. You're not hurt.
Very, very
I mean,
egregious.
I think it's really. I mean, we talk about it. It's one of those things that it's just like. I mean, when it happens to you, it's annoying. When you do it, you're over there laughing on the sideline. You know, like, it's how it goes. But I mean, I do agree. I mean, it definitely defeats a lot of the purpose that we play with.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing. It's one thing to fall out because you don't have like the formation set and it's on y'all.
Yeah.
But we are physically making people so tired to the point where they can't play at the standard that they need to play at, and they're doing something that's out of the rule book to stop our tempo.
Yeah. You should feel good about yourself when that happens.
Well, guys,
resort to
we-
that tactic.
You do feel good about yourself. I mean, as much as we don't like to admit it, I mean, it kind of helps us get our breath back too. So I mean, hey, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on the moment, honestly.
So it's safe to say on Saturday if you're out there, you're going to tell the kid from Tennessee Tech, just lay down. We need a break too.
No. He's gonna lay down, and I'm gonna talk to him.
You're going to say thank you.
You're
Instead of saying get up, you're going to say thank you.
No, I'm gonna say thank you in my own mind, but I'm gonna be saying something else to him.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you coming out. That's been it for Tennessee Prime for this Tuesday night from Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken off Sutherland. For Cade Mays and Cooper Mays, who was very gracious to come in and bail out
Guest
Jimmy
performance.
Calloway.
Thanks, guys.
And Jason Swain, I'm Austin Price. See you next Tuesday.
And I'm Cooper Mays.
Fix it.
In the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain